welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribe-Light, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart
Inquisitor. Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what day is it? It's not Wednesday. Hold on, it's not my birthday. Wait, oh, actually, I'm gonna be filling in for a quiz today. I'm gonna be your substitute teacher. So we're gonna just watch a movie because I really don't care about the whole teaching thing. But luckily I have my two student aides here on loan from Hammer. He said I can borrow them. We have the lovely Jen.
Hello.
And Mr. Terry Salt.
Hello.
How's you two doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Oh, well, riveting
How are you, Adam?
conversation. I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Trying my best to not touch any of Quiz's miniatures because he said I'm not allowed to paint them. I'm just supposed to be playing host, but it's so tempting. Look at these big
Right?
things. I
Just
just want to kick
do
them
the
over.
Jack Cochran painting method. You dip them in 3 colours of paint and it's done.
I told him I'd do it. Why didn't he believe me? No.
I really shouldn't be thinking this, but for some reason, the minute you said his miniatures, I had this image of like one of those giant Japanese figurines, and I was like, that would be funny to throw into a Warhammer. Just as a joke.
Oh, the guy
Not
like
for
a
real,
Gundam?
but as a joke. Like his giant Gundam girl.
They would probably have they would probably make up rules for it just so that they can use it. I wouldn't put it past them. Yes. Well, it is Monday. I don't know. It feels like I've been on every show this weekend.
Lizard track on what to talk about too, because honestly, it's the same circle of the same shit.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Although I will say now we can start talking about monkeypox. And
I know,
what
right?
are we gonna do about
I'm still
monkeypox?
blaming Monkey for that though, because it's funny.
Yeah. Well,
Monkey, stop wanking so much. You've got a wife.
it's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
first off, he starts yelling at the wonderful ladies at MSNBC for no reason, too. I mean, there's no reason he has to be so angry at these people. And now he's spreading monkeypox? I mean, shit.
He jizzed in his pants. What can we say?
Where's the stairs of justice? Oh, no. I'm sorry. That was a bit too...
think
Oh wait, actually, you know what? It's not just in your pants, because my understanding of this one is it has to do with, and I know I'm taking this out of context. I know it's just affecting the gay community a little more
Whoa.
because it has to do with touching the bum bum.
Yeah, actually, I saw that with one of the Sargon, the Lotus Eaters. They were talking about how a lot of the cases were predominantly in these areas, and it's like, ugh. Guess we can't talk
Sexually
about it.
transmitted diseases. Let's be real. It's not necessarily just a gay community thing, but it is something that they're aware of, or at least they should have been.
Well, the thing is, anal sex is more likely to lead to transmission of STDs, and it just so happens that that community engages in it more because of necessity.
No.
Like, there's a particular hole that is absent from that relationship, requiring the use of the back door.
Well, I mean, technically there is a hole, but it's going to be filled. Oh man.
And then you got people who are bisexual, and then you know that just gets everywhere. I'm going to hell.
We can reuse the whole Dave Chappelle bit where he's talking about, you know how long it took me to teach this orangutan to not rip off my dick. He's like, nah, man, I'm having sex with my monkey. And it's like, oh no. That's how it started. No, that's not how it started.
I figure I've had the chicken pox, so I'm not scared of monkey pox. So it's like,
you know, somebody actually brought up, I think Chatmort was goofing on it. I think she had a mass genocide of sea monkeys or something like that. And it's funny that's where, like, when they brought up sea monkeys are going to be the next one, I'm sitting there, they're thinking of the sea monkeys, like the little brine shrimp or brain shrimp or whatever. My thought, again, my brain is really weird, and I'll tell you another story to exemplify that. My brain immediately went to, oh shit, sea people monkeys? They took over the Bronze Age of civilization. like, now they're sea. Son of a bitch. We really are at the end of the line. You know it's bad times when the sea monkey peoples come. Where the fuck did they come from?
I've been standing by this for the longest time. That between South Park and Simpsons, they tapped into something. They were sarcastic at the time, but they tapped into something. And that's terrifying.
What, the monkeypox? The sea monkey?
Yes.
yeah, there was a South Park episode where they got confused about semen,
Oh, yeah.
as in ejaculate.
And Cartman is doing
He
the...
gets semen from a homeless man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Through,
And
and
then...
now it's on YouTube because I'd be naughty.
Yeah. That was the one where they kept
YouTube,
doing the...
I just want to remind you that South Park did it.
Well, didn't they say Simpsons did it?
Yes, they did.
Well, that was
They
the
did it
joke.
Yeah, that was a joke, I think, because Dr. Chaos kept trying to do, or Professor Chaos kept trying to do some stuff, and they're like, yeah, Simpsons did it. I was like, God damn it.
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
Oh, man.
And then at the end of the episode, he's the one who goes, "Ha! Simpsons did it." And they're like, "Dude, the Simpsons have done everything. Like, who cares?"
Oh, man. Oh, shit, you know what? The one thing that's lacking from today's episode, usually Quiz has his own intro. I'm still in the works of getting my own intro working. And I was banging on the windows of Quiz's place all for like the past hour and a half, and for some reason he didn't want to let me in to get the figures and to get the intro. I forgot to get it last time, so I think I'm just gonna go on the fly here and go ahead and do my own intro for Quiz because I'm helping a friend out. So here it goes. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Ba-doom, boom, boom.
It is so tempting to say yes and leave the Discord.
God damn it. You ruined my groove. Yeah, okay, I'll spare you. And probably DMCA, because I sound just like the guy, so it's eerie.
Yeah, spot on.
I know. I kill it at the karaoke rink. And I believe Simpsons did it too. Oh, man.
Yeah, the Simpsons did do it. They did it well, and I miss those times. And I feel like between the two, South Park is the only one who's. I mean, they're not as funny, admittedly, because they've always been kind of where they are. But but they're still holding out in terms of making fun of everybody. They still make fun of everybody.
I've seen some people like doing reviews, and like I guess there's a specific number of seasons, like between 2 and 6 or something like that. That was really good, and then after that it started spiraling out of control. But I was reading the chat, and first off, how's it going, everybody in chat? Welcome. Welcome. This is a church. W.R. Costin, he says to Terry, you got to give the emus credit. I'm assuming he's talking to Terry only because it's Terry.
Yeah.
You got to give the emus credit. They haven't given us the emu pox yet. And you know what? That made me remember about what you said about those damned Mexican emus. Do you know I had a family member die at the Alamo?
I would high five the dude who ever boned an emu and lived to tell the tale.
Those Mexicans came raiding it on emus.
I don't even think they have a hole like that. I don't think it works like that because they lay an egg.
Oh, they'll find a way.
But aren't the females the more vicious of the two?
I don't know. They just were eating everything. Yeah. And you just see them. They were poking their...
My understanding of emus, the female's kind of the boss, and the males are kind of the ones who take care of the babies, because they get more babies out of it.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know much about emu breeding. I generally want fewer emus, not more.
Yeah, that's exactly what the emu-controlled Terry would say.
I only know because I watched this thing where they were herding them. Like they had a herd of emus where they were trying to like encourage them to move along.
They move in herds?
Yeah, they do. They move in herds. Female. Yeah, how it works is the female will keep a couple of males, and what they do is they drop their eggs so that the males have to take care of them. That way they get more eggs out of it. They get more babies out of it. It's actually really clever.
So it's like mantises, right? How they eat the males after mating.
It's like having a harem, but instead of it being a man in charge, it's the female, and instead she just lays babies everywhere. Damn. She just gives you guys all the babies and then fucks off. It's actually kind of ideal.
Maybe that's where a lot
the
of
males make better caregivers than the females do.
Well, maybe that's where a lot of these soy boy polygamists get this idea from.
Well, it's also one of those things where I kind of find the irony of it, because those species are kind of like dinosaur birds. Like they are kind of dinosaurs. They've been around for longer than our species have been walking upright. You know, and you got to think that they work better because the males were the ones caring for the chicks.
And they're still 1-0. I mean, shit.
Cassowaries are like that too. They're just more vicious.
Oh, cats, yeah.
Yeah, they'll kill you.
Oh, that's true.
A hole's a hole, and a roll's a roll. Oh, no. Oh, okay, so that reminds me of... I'm going to tell this story real quick before I forget it. And yeah, because it's kind of bad. So let's get it out of the way. And then we'll call it a night. No, but...
I just want to say that at a feminist convention one of these days, just so you know, the reason that emus existed as a dinosaur bird for longer than we were walking upright is because the males take better care of their children than we do.
And for every one of those, there's crazy raping duck rapers.
Well, if we're not killing ours off, we're turning ours into the opposite gender just so that we feel better about ourselves, morally speaking, for whatever damn reason, even though it's warped and gross.
So...
Sorry, I would self.
Earlier today, I took a little pause at work and just was scrolling through Twitter, like you do.
Oh, God.
And, I ran across someone replying to an image. Now, I didn't really get a good look at the image because I was just scrolling. And he said something like, you add a fifth one and then you turn it into a propeller and then blank, 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 profit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is he talking about? So I look at the image and at first I thought it was like a model of, the two bullets that collided together at Gallipoli, I think it was. Or World War I think. But it's a famous, like, two bullets inside each other, right? So it looks like a cross. And at first I thought it was that, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And then I look closer, and I'm like, oh, it's a four-sided dildo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I read the original comment, and it's like, hey, looking for, I don't know who it was, some e-girl or something like that. She's saying, like, looking for co-op or something like that, collab, to take up this. And so I look back at what he said about the propeller, and I'm like, so here's where my brain goes to. My brain goes, hold on, let me bring up the tweet just so I can get it more accurate. So I respond with, I think you're onto something here. And this is, because before I even posted it, I'm like, should I post this? This is really weird sounding. But, yeah, fuck it, let's just do it. You go, I think you're onto something. Someone roaming around on a cam with an old-fashioned pilot hat and goggles and a dildo propeller in their butt making airplane sounds. So I just imagine somebody in, like, Red Baron fucking helmet and a scarf and just flying around the room like, how's that fun? I'm like, you know what? But somebody would be buying it, you know?
Oh, guaranteed.
But then the clouds part, and there's the Red Baron. He was like, oh shit, we're getting a dogfight. Two people flying around with propeller butt plugs.
Speaking of clouds,
That has to be a sex toy somewhere. You know that, right?
I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're going to see this at the next Pride Parade.
Yes.
And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, she brought in her friend. Her friend's kind of on the hefty side, though, so she doesn't get to play the airplane game with us. We turned her into a blimp. she's a zeppelin going around really slow, and you don't want to light a cigarette around her. I was thinking, how would a rear gunner work?
You know,
maybe
there used to be this meme back in the day of a cactus, and it was implied that anything could be a dildo.
Oh, God.
And I feel like that's where they've gone with that. And now I'm like, you know what? I know where I've gone wrong in life. I just should have just turned everything into a dildo and sold it to people who are weird.
Flying away into the wild blue yonder.
Right?
Everything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Like,
okay.
I was thinking about how funny it would be if I took a dildo, right? It's electronic, and I don't know why I got the idea of a dough baster, but I was thinking of the rotator thing
Oh my
that
God.
you get on dough making machines, and it's just the dildo causing it to twirl, right?
Why would
I don't doubt that the gay community already has that. I do not doubt that I've just made that up in my head in the matter of 2 seconds that I've been talking to you about this conversation. I don't doubt if I looked it up, they already have it.
you ever see those?
Everything already exists in the world.
You ever see those old mixers where you gotta hold it on one hand and then use the other hand and just?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that has been repurposed, MacGyvered, if you will, into a
God,
sex toy. When you see him break out that special case, it's like, a good whipping is insert. Oh man. What are we gonna do tonight, honey? We'll make some cake.
Right? They'd do it too. They'd have a bowl with whipped cream or something
Stop it.
underneath. You know they'd do it.
Oh man.
Oh, this is why they're not getting the entertainment that they want. They keep writing it, but what they write is garbage. If they got us to write it, it would be what they wanted.
Have it a show about a baker's dozen, where they all live in a house and they're all gay, and they
There's a
all
13th one because they're weird like that.
Oh yeah. There's always a 13th one. He's not officially on the show. He just hangs around. He's one of their friends or something. He's always there.
Because there's always that asshole who's like, Baker's dozen always has a 13 one, and you're like, no.
Wait, is a baker's dozen 13? I don't know. I thought it
Yeah,
was
the
12.
baker's dozen is 13.
Well, I'm not a baker.
They X that over here because it just doesn't make sense when you're making like buns for platters or for. It's just.
No,
Oh my god.
it doesn't make sense if you take it literally, but as an expression, a baker's dozen refers to 13.
Oh man, and you get like all sorts of bakers. So you get the like really fat one but then you get the really scrawny, skinny one. And then you get the one that's actually a girl, but she kind of looks like a dude, so they just kind of let her there. She's still a good baker. She tastes their pies. They're really good.
Reminder, guys, this conversation started with dildos.
No, I'm talking about a bunch of bakers just fucking each other.
We're still making whipped cream here.
Oh, that's what's coming next. The baker's pox.
Oh.
Hey, you shouldn't let me cream fill this. Oh no. You got the one guy who makes donuts.
But Sanguine's not here, so we can't talk about food. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could, but
No, because he'd probably sit there and have it. Yeah, I don't want to talk.
step-by-step instruction on how to do it better. Yes, with equipment that I can't afford to use because I don't have the job that pays the same amount that he has. You know, I know he's a bachelor, but you know what? I can't afford a smoker. I know they're not that expensive, but I can't.
That's the French baker.
I'll just buy a packet of cigarettes and smoke it yourself.
Right? That'd be great.
The French baker just sits in the corner, constantly smoking. I am smoking. I am smoking my bread. He likes to share his baguette. God. Oh.
It depends on the baguette. I always kind
Does
of
it?
laugh at that one. It really does, because most baguettes, I don't know about North America, because you know what, you're from Chicago. You guys actually do have, you have an Italian community, don't you, in Chicago?
Do we? Probably.
Not Italian, but yeah, Italians actually do baguettes. I know it's French, but they do baguettes. It's a different style. But guess who got baguettes from where?
I thought baguettes were French.
Just so we don't get in trouble, she's saying it with a B, not an F.
Oh.
But like if you go to the Italians, they do have a form of bread that's similar to a baguette. It's not the same thing, but it's actually similar to the recipe that you would get from like France. But our baguettes are elongated Kaisers.
Oh.
They're elongated Kaisers. You know Sam L, right? You know Sam L? Every once in a while, I'll send him pictures of baguettes just because it's funny.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I also sent him a video, and he's not British, but he is a cook. I did send him a video of this guy who took 7-Eleven products to make a beef Wellington. It was amazing. He was so upset with me.
You know,
I sent that one to Sanguine too.
I think this whole time I had in my head a croissant. That is not a baguette.
No, it is not.
Wow.
It has a lot more butter in it.
Well, see, like I said, I am not a baker.
As long as you put Vegemite on it, all bread is acceptable.
Whoa, Vegemite.
That is one thing I'm going to call out Delicio for. I know that's fake pizza because it's Delicio, but they were like, we took croissant and made it into a pizza crust. I'm like, that is not a croissant. That is not a croissant.
Well, at least they didn't.
It's
do it
not.
Like
I like the idea if they actually used a croissant. They didn't though.
That would. Okay, you would have croissant pizza, but what about pineapple pizza?
That'd be fine.
Oh, nice.
That'd be fine on a croissant too. Actually, it would probably work better because croissants are kind of a little bit sweet.
Pineapple goes on pizza on the sole condition that the pizza then goes in the garbage.
I get your opinion. Like, it's one of those things where not everybody likes fruit or certain types of fruit on pizza, and I get where that is from. I don't have that problem because I've used pineapples before with ham just because it's a nice way to tenderize it.
Hold on, you can't use ham. You got to use bacon, like actual good American bacon.
I do both. I actually do both. Now, I get that some places use cheap ham, but that's the one time where the Canadian bacon is actually a little bit better because it's kind of like a mixture of ham and of bacon. Because it's got more texture to it than necessarily ham.
I feel you kind of have a bias though, considering you're Canadian.
No, it has to do with ham is like pressed. I find it like ham to me tastes like pressed meat, whereas Canadian bacon tastes like ham, but it's like ham with texture.
Ooh.
Yes, it tastes like meat. Like it has texture like meat should have. Whereas I find ham just tastes like compressed meat that's been smoked. Unless
good
it's good
ham.
ham. Yeah.
Good ham tastes like meat. It's just if you get like the store bought like very thinly sliced, pre-packaged processed stuff, that stuff's awful.
Yeah.
If you get like proper ham, that's actually really nice.
That stuff is expensive though. I get what you're saying
Yes,
there,
it
Terry.
is for a
but
reason.
It's expensive up here. I do get that on occasion too, but my budget doesn't allow me to. So it's like, if I get that, Canadian bacon up here is usually a little bit cheaper. So, you know, yeah, I am biased. It's cheaper and it tastes better than ham.
Yeah, you know what? I am biased.
Than pressed ham.
And that's all we ask.
I don't know what much about Canadian bacon because everything that I've
It's not too
heard
different
about
from
it-
American bacon.
Yeah.
Well, some American bacon though, you know, sometimes it's just you just taste salt. You know, it's just way crunchy salt.
It's also based off of your budget. Like if and I'm saying this with good credit to the U.S. because you know I'm talking as a city folk person. One of the problems with our city is they've really cut down on a lot of the little shops that used to bring in like homemade processing of hams, and that's what I talk about when I say like Italian communities, or even just communities who process their own meat, like Polish are an example, Germans are an example, British are an example. They do their own too. Like properly processed meat is not found as frequently as it used to be in the big cities. You know, you go to little towns and you do have like private butchers, or you have the shops that have the butchers. They don't do a lot of special cuts anymore. Like you kind of have to go out of your way to get really good cuts. And it's kind of worth it to do that. Like you spend more money, but if you know how to handle the meat afterwards, and yes, I'm a Canadian, I freeze my food, sorry, it makes it last longer. It's better than canning it.
Did you just say sorry?
Yes, I did, sir. I do that, eh?
You said, hold on. You just,
I throw it out there every once in a while.
did a pure Canadian.
I like to
thing.
give little Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We should do it more often. Yeah.
But it really has to do with the combination. And yeah, I do a little bit more to my pineapple too, because I'm fussy about that. Like if you're using it from the can, you can, but use chunky stuff. And then cut it up. Don't use the thin crappy shit. Dole, fuck you, Dole. You used to be good, and now you suck.
And something went wrong. Something was spoiled.
Yeah.
Would
cheap, that's what happened.
Would it be really wrong of me to say it would be an awesome night if I can get Terry to say something Australian? like let's have another shrimp on the barbie. Vegemite. That's, you might as well just be, well, you also said emu, so I guess that works out.
You know, the problem is I talk to Terry more often than I listen to like the TV, and so I've lost my fake my fake understanding of Australian. It used to be I can't even speak. Crocodile Dundee. Yeah. Used to be what I used to. I knew he didn't represent Australia, but he was the one who, you know, I'd hear.
Yeah.
But I don't remember his quotes because it was so long ago.
Oh, shit.
I only remember the knife one.
The only thing I remember about Crocodile Dundee, I don't even recall the movie too much, but because I remember, cause I have been listening to Colin Quinn talk about how he rewrote the script for the second one, because he was in it as just like a, you know, hey, Crocodile Dundee guy, welcome to New York or something like that. He was showing him a part of the city, and he rewrote it to that he's like his partner. He's like his helper.
Okay.
And I just remember listening to the radio people talk, laughing at him. He was like, dude, this is like your first movie and you just walk up and give him a rewrite of the script? And he's like, yeah, why not? Fucking Colin Quinn.
It's Colin Quinn is great, if only for Tough Crowd. If he does nothing else in his life, the fact that he had that show Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn.
Yeah, that was good.
That made him awesome.
I don't want to derail the conversation, but the minute you went there, my brain went to the Jurassic Park lady. Huh? Because she was kind of up in the Twitter news, not in the real news, because real news doesn't exist outside of Twitter. But Twitter.
Well, we did mention Jurassic Park earlier, so. Yeah,
Twitter was trying to push this idea that in the first movie,
the fact that there was kind of a relationship between the female character and the male character was inappropriate, and that was the male gaze. And I was like, listen, I hate to break it to you, but in that movie, nobody cared about the female character. They cared about the male character, because his actor's, like, he was super big. Yeah. He was kind of a hot actor at the time.
Well, I mean, they kind of made it, or they kind of hinted at that they were in a relationship, especially when Malcolm started hitting on her. You know, you can see
it's also implied that she was kind of an older character. Like, I'm sorry, she doesn't look her age. She didn't look 23 at the time.
No.
She didn't. She looked like a teacher, like in her 30s.
Well, not only that, but she kept alluding to having children. And that was kind of his whole story arc in that movie, was he learned to, I guess, appreciate younger people. Or so, I don't know. But, hell, even when you see reviews about the second one, or the third one, they're like, we didn't want to see her turn up with some random guy. And Sam Elliott, or whatever his name is that his name? Was that his name? I don't know.
Tim Neal.
Yeah.
Vince Neil?
Tim Neal.
Oh. I mean, Vince Neil.
No, not Vince Neil. That would be funny.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're trying to play it off like he was, like, leering on her or grooming her or something. I'm like, that's not how it came across at all. If that's how you felt it came across, lady, then you should read your script.
Besides anything else, why are we pretending that traditionally women don't go for older men and that men don't traditionally go for younger women? That's just how it's been
and
throughout
not only
history.
that, but like I said, she was pretty much hinting to him that she wanted kids. So it was like, yeah, I don't know if he was grooming her when he was pretty much telling her, like, knock it off, I don't care about kids. And she's like, don't you want some kids? It's like, yeah, I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's how I got that's what I got from that the entire time. But they want to twist it now, so it's the other way around, and I'm like, you can't rewrite history. You'd have to rewrite the script then.
They can.
Hey, if they have a problem with that, then clearly they haven't read it and all the disgusting things that are in that. So go fuck off, you fucking idiots.
Yes, that is a disturbing situation.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mention that.
It's the way they're twisting history. It's craziness. Like, they don't think that people can remember this stuff.
Well, they're hoping
I have blotches with the Jurassic Park film, just because I was kind of that kid when that was released. Like, I loved the movie, but there were times where it was scary. You know, I'm older now, I could watch it and not have that problem, but, like, that's my memory of it. I just don't want to watch it again. Like, it was a good movie, but I'm like that with certain movies. I just don't really want to watch it again. Like, yeah, it's the same movie.
Oh, I still pee a little when the guy gets eaten on the toilet.
I thought it was funny. I thought that was funny as shit, because it was a lawyer. I'm like, that was the joke. A lawyer gets eaten on the shitter. You know, times in that movie where you're kind of cheering on the dinosaurs. I mean, that's kind of what the books are based off of. You're kind of cheering on the dinosaurs.
Hold on. Because I'm getting rave reviews about my bowling skills. Look, I have a lot on my mind, okay? They're gonna kill the poor woman. I just wanted my rug bat, and I just cannot concentrate on the game right now, okay? I'm sorry. But let him count. They're gonna kill the poor woman.
It's bowling. Who cares? It's not like it's not like it's a fighting game where you actually should be good at it.
Don't say that, because Coco's in the fucking chat.
No, that's why I said it. It's all Stefanoe saying, will I get to kick Adam's ass in this stream?
No. Maybe, I don't know. It's Monday. Thinking, oh, come on!
Yeah, it was pretty close there. Like, I could go on there, but... Oh.
Hold on, did I at least get out of the first round? Because then I can point at the chat, and you can't see it, but I'm going to point and go, haha. Oh, come on!
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, when you get that one last pin, it's just like a middle finger to you. Like, I'm still standing, bro!
It would have been funny if the ball just went straight between them and did knock either of them down.
So you know how you avoid that one? Just imagine the last pin as being like a giant penis, like standing in your way, like a middle finger, being like, "Fuck you, man."
No,
to avoid seeing that image, you gotta knock them all over.
Gonna go make myself another White Russian.
Or that. That might work.
Oh man. Ah shit. Oh, the yes, the I'm sure we talked about it in an earlier night, but it is always worth bringing up, especially because I've been seeing a lot of young Rippa stuff, and I think he's pretty much on the ball with it. This is our chance to fucking, take up reins in a lot of the entertainment media industry type stuff. I guess they're bringing Adam Warlock back for some reason, and so the MCU, which is really stupid. But oh shit, he was talking about? Oh yeah, Chippendale. Because at first when they first showed the villain, they were like, no, it's some other guy, it's his other name. But I saw
Bobby
that.
Drisnack.
Yeah, no, they said it wasn't him. Like when they first showed it, yeah. But I saw, I think it was Clownfish, what you were talking about. But they actually show clips from the movie, and it is him. It's fucking him. He was Peter Pan. He got acne. They show Peter Pan with acne, and they said he couldn't get a job afterwards. And it's like, what the fuck? That's grotesque. And yeah,
you can't even once you're owned by Disney, you're always owned by Disney. It doesn't matter if you die as a homeless man on a couch and then get shipped to the pauper's grave where your mom has to beg the state to go see your son.
Only identified by fingerprints. And then when you look at a picture, it's him. Like it looks like him. It's so gruesome. But then I remember seeing, oh yeah, they got the rights for Stan Lee as well. And
this is why I don't really want to support Disney. Like I feel for people with kids, because if you've got kids, there's really not a lot you can do. Disney is always going to be popular. They're good at what they do. They know how to target the children, but never watch anything from Disney with your kids alone.
Well,
ever.
I just find it crazy because I remember back in the day, that was the whole, like, we used to goof on it and like look at how many Easter eggs we could quote unquote Easter eggs we could find, like the priest having a boner, or Aladdin, all good teenagers take off your clothes, and we were sitting there looking at it when we were young and we were laughing, it was funny, oh, look at the dildo on the castle, haha. But now that I'm looking at it, looking back, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I mean, I don't know how we dodged it, but I can see how it could subliminally, check a lot of people unwillingly, unknowingly, I guess.
So Kokanee, I'm just gonna do a quick little history lesson for you. It's honestly not entirely Disney's fault. Like back in the day, Hollywood was kind of brutal for child actors. It really was.
I think Shirley Temple did a documentary where she was talking about how a lot of times to keep the kids in check, they would just put them in a box.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like 30s and 40s, so I mean they didn't give a shit. They were treating adult actors like shit, and even like Judy Garland, they kept calling her fat pig on the set of Wizard of Oz and shit. Yeah, and you look at her and it's like, what? It's like, well, yeah, because they were, hey, do coke and fucking lose some weight, fatty.
Yeah.
We can't see your rib cage yet. And so it's true, and a lot of Disney stars, they did the same thing. It's crazy. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I'm sure I've mentioned it on the show before, but I was in the production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat when it was out here in Chicago. I think like 93 and 95.
Cool.
And they asked us to be the group that I was in. They asked us to be in for a third time, but we couldn't have a certain age above something, like certain, because we were supposed to be kids. Our part was school children. This lady's reading us the story of Joseph, and then we just kind of watching the sidelines and shit, and sing and dance and all that fun stuff. And we were gonna do it a third time. I think it was the last run with Donny Osmond as well. but the higher ups in our group said no because there was a lot of the people who were in it that, you know, the first 2 years, they wouldn't be able to be in it the third year because they were too old or old looking. So it's like, yeah, no, I totally fucking get that, you know, especially, and it's just even more brutal back in the day because they just booted your ass out on the streets. Who the fuck are you? I think he was also in Song of the South, the Peter Pan kid. So that probably didn't help him either.
But it doesn't really matter. Like it was kind of a grinding factory for pretty much the poor, honestly, because they kind of made it seem like the fame came with money too, and it did
for a bit.
But there were contracts, and kids didn't make as much money.
I mean,
and a lot of times they lost a lot of that money.
Yo, mama. Ugh.
But it was also the psychological stuff. Like, they really did do stuff to those kids. I don't doubt that they did stuff that was probably questionable. It's why they've changed the rules so much. Like, it's not to say that they don't bypass those rules on occasion. That's what you watch for. But they,
Well, no, because it's been a continuant. Because you even look at like people like Danny Bottaducci, and you listen to what he was saying. Is like, they gave me a large sum, or they told me I could get it, you know, in bits. And he's like, I made the choice of just, you know, partying it all out, you know. Shit, who was he? Oh, and recently, Jaleel White came out and said that his dad was really upset that they made him do the Urkel cousin or stepsister.
Stefan Urkel. Stefan Urkel.
No. When he was dressed like a girl, Urkel. And she was all over the brother. I guess the father really did not like that, and he said that's not going to happen again. And he was there at the set. Even what's his nut, Elijah Wood, was like, my parents kept me out of all those parties, the same ones that, you know, fucking Corey Feldman was talking about. You know, shit's real, yo. it's out there, and they tell you, a lot of them tell you. Like I said, Shirley Temple was really clear about it, you know, like they worked our ass off, you know. Another one who turned out like that was Elf Alpha. Apparently he died in like a knife fight or some shit. It's really crazy.
It's even more recent. Like you remember oh god, give me a second. It's one of those 90s movies. The Mighty Ducks, the chubby kid.
Oh yeah, didn't he have like meth problems or some shit?
Yeah, like off and on the streets, like he just couldn't get himself off. He was still friendly the entire time. Like they said it, like he was still, you know, a nice, easygoing guy, but he just couldn't get off the drugs. Just kept. I think they do stuff more than they say.
Oh yeah, well, we're, I guess, just now learning about the fucking casting couch, or I guess the normies are just figuring this out. So I mean, all this stuff is. Hey, we are in the time of revelations, so we're supposed to be learning all this shit, as difficult as it is. And
I also think they don't spell out the reality to some of these kids, because I think they really do pump up their head with the idea that they've got the fame, they're going to be a star, they're going to be a star for life, and then they don't understand that actually that's not always the case, because sometimes your character ends up being you for life.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people who just end up being that character for life because they look like them so much, or people just see them and see that character. They brought the character to life, for real.
Well, that's why it's like, okay, anybody who's looking at trying to get into Hollywood or acting or anything like that now, I think you're crazy. I think I mean, with all this shit that's coming out, to still want and to be naive enough to think that you can dodge and bob and weave all that, I don't know. Hey, Godspeed, you know, God be with you. But that's why I mean, like with what Young Rippa was saying, this is our chance to do better, to make our own stuff and try our hands at it, fill the void that they're making with these bad decisions. And I'm 100%. That's why I follow a lot of indie publishers, comic publishers, a lot of great artists, a lot of good writers. So it's one of those things that I would love to get together with some developers or game developers and work on a game. You know, can at least do art and some voice acting. But you know, this is where we can take the lead in a lot of this stuff. And son of a bitch, I'm gonna get past the first round.
One moment.
He's standing too close to the television. Is that the problem?
No, I think I'm worried about hitting the headset cable. I gotta get wireless headset for this, so I'm changing my rotation, so to speak. Oh. Always the one. You know what? If I don't get out of round one, I'll play Coco in some Blaze Blue.
Oh dear. That would
as a
be
punishment.
a disaster.
Yeah. It's it's a shame. I don't know, man. I guess I really do like. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess.
Yes, it's probably for the best that there's no crossplay in Blaze Blue, because I would also get destroyed by Kokonoe if I was playing.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting better. You know.
I just pick a mana and do drill well, not even drill combos, just drill attacks to chip away at them, and that's my entire game plan.
Oh wow, yeah, that's bad. That is bad.
There you go.
Okay. The game's like, dude, we know you're not gonna get past round one. Yeah, we're preparing the next lane. Oh shit. No. Fucking Chicano. This is not a good sign. That's what they're preparing for. Oh man, oh yeah, DMCA. We can't do that. Sorry, Hammer. You never know.
So for other news I haven't been following, but I try to follow at least a little bit. I think it looks like Depp's case is getting better and better every day. Because it looks like Amber's like tanking herself more and more every day. And it kind of looks like the judge hates her lawyer.
Is it? It's still going on? I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still in her. She's still being grilled. She's still sharing her side of the story, and you know, it's amazing. Like she pretends to be very emotional for certain things, and then it just turns off like bloop. And it's very unnatural. And it's one of those things where like it's very hard to lie to people who are trained in body language. And she's failing phenomenally. And I would say that I kind of stand with her the shrink analysis that she sounds like bipolar, narcissistic, blah 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 blah. I'm not a shrink either, but she's just pulling so much bullshit out, and it's just funny the entire time. But I don't follow as much of the lawyer stuff. I just don't have the attention to watch a full Ricada stream, or I like Viva too. He's got the most amazing hair, but I can't watch a whole thing on that shit. I'm like, no.
I'm surprised it's still going on.
Yeah, I know. Every day I'm like, are you done yet? Has a verdict happened? No. Okay. Okay, well, you know,
I
take
stopped paying
time.
attention to it. I don't really care. It's just like, okay, everyone knows Amber Heard is a total psycho. That's all I needed to know. Okay, don't care anymore.
I mean, I care about that too, but it's also the part where I'd like him to win. I'd still like to just hear the words, yeah, he won, and then I'm good. I don't care about the stuff in between, because I haven't paid attention to it enough to really follow it anyway. And to be honest, it's his own business too. There's a certain sense of me who's just like, this is their own business, man. The only part that I care about is cheering for him because, yeah, I think she's an abuser. I think she rubbed it in his face that she was an abuser. And I hate bitches like that. So that part of me just wants to hear the verdict that says he won, and I don't care about the rest of it because it's none of my business.
It's just weird because there's still people who are looking at it as if it's like like it's still, you still got to believe her. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know what else you need to see, dude.
It's like there comes a point where sometimes a woman is a bitch and she's a lying bitch, and I had a roommate like that who tried to pull
believe
that
the
on
women, Jen. Believe the women.
I knew that she tried to pull that on her boyfriend in front of the cops, and for one thing, the cops are close to the door, and for two, I was like, I'm not going to stand by you if you say that, because that's not a truth statement. Tell the truth. He'll get in more trouble if you just tell the truth. He was on drugs, you know?
Yeah.
And she wanted to accuse him of hitting her. And I was like, why would you do that? Just tell them he's on drugs. Maybe he needs to have a day in the tank.
Wasn't it drugs, like, because of pain or something like that?
No. He was supposed to wait for pain meds, for over-the-counter pain meds. He went out and he got himself, meth.
Oh, you know, he probably got it from the Mighty Ducks kid. Oh, yes. Shit. Sorry, I didn't know that joke was not allowed.
You're fine. It's just one of those things where, like, there's certain drugs where, like, I could understand that he was a little bit high on certain pain meds. And yeah, he was actually, because after that night he was on strong pain meds. But, no, what he did is he went out and he decided to get high on, he self-medicated. That's why I was going to confess that to the cops, because, I am not, my drug of choice is pot. You don't overdose on pot. You fall asleep.
Whoa.
You get the munchies or you fall asleep. I know it's possible if you take too many edibles and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? I was more concerned that he'd done something stupid, because I don't know what he'd done during the day with the doctors either. Like, they could have given him something, and I didn't know that because he was kind of in this mind zone of half lying to me and half not. And I'm not his girlfriend. I'm just a roommate, you know? But I was just like, okay, listen, if he took something and he's acting like that and he overdoses in front of me, I'm gonna be useless. I'd rather tell that to the cops and let them judge, because they have more experience with that kind of shit than I do. And if they told me to just let him sleep it off, so I was like, okay, well, they know better than I do. They do. That's where I was at. I'm not so much a tattletale as so much as I'm just like, I don't want a person that is still my friend who's, like, fucked up in the head to die in front of me. He can go do that back home in Nova Scotia where I don't know about it.
Oh, damn.
Listen.
Go over there and die.
There's levels of, like, I can support you when you're suffering. And he got better, but then he decided to go straight back into doing coke and crack and shit like that.
Oh, damn.
And he just decided to start killing himself that way. And I'm just like, my level of love and care for somebody only goes to a certain point where I can't anymore. You become your own form of your own toxicity. I can't help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
After a certain point, you know, if they don't want to help themselves, there's nothing you really can do. So, I mean, yeah, I guess send them to Nova Scotia to die.
He sent himself back. Well, no, she did actually.
Oh.
She sent him back. That was her thing. But she sent him back because she wanted him to be with his family, and she was. I helped him with that because I thought she was toxic. To be honest, I wanted him to escape her.
Oh.
Because he was literally sick. His family's back home. They actually have better health care over there. Like, he was out here waiting for it here. He would have had to wait 3 months. If he'd gone back home, he would have gotten it right away. So I was like, go home. Because he could get, you know, help right away. But also because she was toxic. just because I'm not spelling it out for you doesn't mean I'm not spelling it out for you. Because she was still his girlfriend. I'm just the roommate. Dude, if I told you your girlfriend was toxic and you're in love with her, even if she is, there's a good chance you're going to tell me to go fuck myself. I'm not perfect either.
Adam, what you need to do is you need to do more damage to him than he does to you. That's how you win.
Right, more damage, take less damage. Gotcha. I gotcha. All right. That's good.
Am I wrong?
That was a good chat, Mickey. Thanks. You gotta cut my eye.
I'm sorry. I know. I was just like, listen, I'm not a medical person, but I know being around family is better, and having a chance to see a doctor sooner that's going to help you sooner is probably better. And your girlfriend who's toxic and thinks she's like morning Kale this night, and then she's Jekyll the next day. I was like, oh, run away.
Man. So I wonder if the reason he was sticking around was because she was crazy in bed.
Yes.
All right. I was just guessing. Maybe she cooked a really mean pie.
No, he was honest. He told me stuff I didn't need to know.
Ugh.
I am that friend that's female that you just tell me things I don't need to know.
She played the airplane game. Oh. He liked to lay on the bed and try and shoot her down.
I could just see when it was going downhill, and I was just like, run away. I mean, he wasn't perfect either. He had issues too. Like I said, he went downhill with drugs and stuff, and I was like, yeah, listen, there's a point where I wash my hands of a person.
All right there, Pontius Pilate. You have your Barabbas.
I don't know how to help you.
Barabbas.
I'm more likely to sit here and laugh at you being like, I don't know how to help you. That was a dumb move. It's like this game you're playing. I have no idea how to help you if you start failing.
Oh.
Because I've never played it before.
All you have to do is raise your arms up and send me your spirit energy.
That's where I'm at when I'm like, you know what, I don't think I'm helpful to you anymore. I think I'm gonna leave this situation. That's usually what I'm doing. Otherwise I'm like laughing at you should play this game. I'm like, you should press the A button more. The A button. I don't know if you're using your keyboard or your Xbox controller, but use the A button more. Or the X button. Or the square. Circle, circle, square.
Move! Dodge! Don't get hit!
Yeah, that's what I said. You get him more than he gets you.
If he dies, he dies.
There's a Battle of the Boobless because it's a kind of recurring joke.
Whoa, hey.
Noelle has no tits is like one of the main sources of anxiety for her in the story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I still haven't learned any of the lore. Coco just told me that this person's father is a cat and the mom is a witch or some shit.
Yes,
yeah.
9.
Yeah.
And the story behind Noelle is so confusing. I couldn't even tell you how it works, but it's like there's this. I forget the character's name, but it's like the source of that body, and then like her soul got split into parts, and Izanami. That's it. Izanami is like.
Wait, who?
One of the characters in the game, Izanami, is like.
Was it the big guy that I fought?
Noelle's soul in a different body, but they're not the same person, but they are, and it's like really weird and confusing.
You know what I like is that this is probably pissing Coco off because I'm actually doing some damage. Yep, yeah.
It is for that reason that I wouldn't fight her, because she would resent me just because I'm still kind of in the D section. I've lost weight too. I'd tell her that. I'd be a bitch about it. I'd be like, hey, listen, I know you're flat. You're probably not for an Asian girl, but I lost weight and I'm still bigger than you.
One of the storylines is that Noelle is like insecure about her chest, and there's a character. What's her name?
I don't know. There's a lot of big titties.
Lady, Oh,
I
I
don't even
forget.
mean to be mean. I just hate that big titty, small titty thing. I'm just like, it's stupid. Because honestly, it's all gonna really depend on the dude. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're big or small, because it depends on the dude. Reality check.
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's
Nothing. I like nothing more
Lychee, that's it. Miss Lychee. Did like one of the stories is Noelle is being treated by the nurse, Miss Lychee, or she's a doctor or something. And like the whole joke is Miss Lychee has massive tits, and Noelle is like insanely insecure about about her own. Because there's
yeah, I
a
think
cat there, Tao Kaka, who calls Lychee the booby lady and like washboard lady or something like that for Noelle, and it's like.
But you see what they're not really going after her for, and what they really should be going after for her? It isn't the fact that she's a small titty girl. It's the fact that she's a small titty girl and she doesn't have an ass. Because that's where you really suffer. If you don't have one or the other, then you really get hammered on. And I'm not saying that as somebody who doesn't I hear this from the girls who are that way.
I've never been that interested in like asses. I don't see the appeal really. That's where the shit comes from. That's not appealing.
That's very observant of you. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna do one more battle, and then we're gonna call it a night since we've hit the hour mark, and I don't want to keep you lovely people too late. And there's
She's staring at me too.
also
Like that angle.
only
Kakanoe is reminding me. Yes, it's Lacking Lady is Takaka's nickname for Noelle.
there's only so much pain I could take for one evening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I should explain this because I think I had to explain this to Sora the other day too. It's not so much, oh man, I'm getting my ass beat. I am. This is a true statement. It's being recorded as well. So, but I'm also learning. If you caught me like a month ago, there's no way I would have been able to get a hit in against Coco. But now I'm actually somehow winning at least one round, which I'm sure, much to his disdain.
Good job.
Yeah, well, it's if you want to get good at something, if you're interested in something, I always say, you got to put the work into it. That's why I don't like when people are, oh, why would you say get good? It's like, well, because if you like the game,
Because that's what you need to do.
yeah, you got to get good.
I've never played this game before. I would fail a lot.
Uh,
Do you know
yes.
what? I remember playing the original kind of action games. I think it was the Mortal Kombat one. The only reason I got that twisty move was because I was slamming the shit out of my controller. That's the only reason I got it, because that one was so random to me. And I know it was one that you could literally write all that shit down. I knew kids who did. And I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't do that. I
But
just
this
slam it."
game is one where if this is the first time you play it, you will do terrible because there is a lot of things to take in on how it works and how to play it properly.
yeah.
Yeah, if this is the first time you play it, you will get destroyed. And then you just have to stick with it and learn the game, and eventually you'll get better, like Adam is.
And
Yeah.
that's why I say the important thing and that's why I don't understand when any of these like gatekeeping topics come up. Like I don't think people realize that people form communities around these games, and you just got to find a decent one if you really want to play it. If not, then why waste your time on it? I have no interest in playing Minecraft, so I'm never gonna fucking play
me
it.
neither.
But
I can't. I tried.
But I'm sure that there's communities out there that are both really hardcore into it and will, go all out and talk nonstop about all the aspects of the game. And then there's some that are a little more welcoming and say, hey, we'll teach you. You just got to find a decent one. And if you find a room or a group, good games, by the way, Coco. If you find a group and they tend to be, I don't know, a bit harsh. You don't like the way that they talk to each other, the way they just find another group. You know, that's the whole fucking point of this. So that's why it's like, for me, it makes very little sense to even have those kind of arguments. When a lot of the power is in your control. It's the same thing with like voice chat. When people are like, "Oh man, I can't believe that these kids are saying all these," so mute them, or don't fucking play in those matches. Start your own one. Like, I don't. It makes no sense to me. But then again, you know, people, I guess, nowadays just expect everything to be catered towards them, specifically for them, and it's just weird.
The only time I can recall being irritated with a game for shit like that, honestly, the only reason it was like that was because it was a free game. So I was like, honestly, it was my own fault. Game.
It was a free game?
You know, at the time, I think it was called MotZ. I think they're not free anymore. I'm not sure. I haven't looked them up in a long time. But back when it first released, it was free, and you'd go on, and it was just flooded with kids, and you knew they were kids because they would just announce that they were kids. It was like 12 to like 14-year-olds, and it was just kind of like you're. If you've ever been to a laser quest on a night when just it's flooded with kids, it's not that they're a pain, it's just when there's a bunch of them, they can be annoying.
Yeah.
And that made the game annoying. But I felt that was more of a me thing, because I chose a free game. So of course there's going to be kids on there.
Yeah.
You know, so that was more of a me thing. And it was also to do with the fact that as a new game, they didn't really have their servers set up with, like, you know,
filters.
rules or yeah, they didn't have that shit yet. So yet again, pre-beta game, of course it's gonna have shit, you know. So I didn't blame the game or the developers. I was just like, that shit they're gonna work on eventually. And honestly, having a bunch of brats on there is probably the best way for them to really test it, because brats will do stupid shit. They'll break servers on purpose because there's not. That's what they like. I do that too.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just it reminds me of RGT85, the guy, YouTuber guy. He was, when Switch Sports came out, he was making fun, you know, like, ah ha ha, like going on there making all the little kiddies cry. And, you know, I was just thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got my ass handed to me on bowling by a couple of kids tonight.
Kids can pick up stuff really quickly.
Yeah.
And they're not always assholes either. Like, there's some kids that end up being really chill. But
All kids are assholes.
yes, they are. But some of them end up being kind of chill. But it's just when you get a group of them,
Stop
and
being
it's,
kid, yes.
you know, it's not just males; it's the girls too. Like, when you get a gang of any group of kids, sometimes they're little assholes.
Well, hold on, because Coco just said something in the chat. You think I'm gonna take it easy just because you're like 12? And it's true. You know, back in arcade days, if you wanted to play Street Fighter, if you saw it was going to open up, you put your quarter down. The person who's playing, they're not going to dumb down because you're a little kid. They put their money in just like you did. You know, you're stepping up to learn how to fucking play. If not, you don't learn. You sit it out, and you do what I do in fucking Dragon Ball and just play offline. And then when you play online, start crying really bad. Oh no!
Have you seen the Justin Wong clip where he's playing Mortal Kombat against like an 8-year-old?
Is he?
Yeah, and like the kid is on microphone, but Justin Wong is like not. And the kid's saying, "You got to go easy on me because I'm a kid." And he's like, he picks Jax and just keeps firing rockets at him, and he's like, "You're cheating. That's a cheat move." And then Justin's like, "You're gonna learn today, son. Welcome to the real world." And then he shoots another rocket at him.
Oh man.
To be fair, some of my resentment might also be to do with the dudes that I was hanging out with at the time. And one of them was an ex-Marine, and he legit was frontal about the fact that he was a sociopath. So if you told him he was a kid, he would enjoy that. And so we would do that, and then the kids end up crying, and I think that's the part that got annoying, is you'd get enough kids crying after a while, and you're just like, this is kind of annoying.
Yeah. I mean, if it's I don't know, if it's in fun and I'm playing with some friends.
Fun. He does it in fun.
No, I mean, like, if I'm playing with friends and I'm playing against somebody who's not really good at the game, you know, I'll alter myself. You know, I'll leave myself open a bit, just so that it isn't so one-sided, because again, I don't know how they're coming into it. If they're just, hey, I just want to hang out and have some fun. Yeah, okay, I'll have some fun.
What I'll do is I'll change the starting conditions to be less favorable to myself. But once the game starts, I'm trying to win. So like when I was playing against Johnny Hellcat and I was like winning easily with Amane, it's like, okay, I'll pick a different character that I'm not as good at.
Yeah.
And that way it'll be a more even match. But I wasn't going to play badly on purpose. I was still trying to win when I was playing, like all these random characters. But they were characters I was bad at to sort of like bridge the gap to make the games a bit more fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm used to that because I had younger siblings, so growing up, you didn't. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a fault of me, but I couldn't. I didn't want the games to like be 1-2 rounds and then it's just me winning, and then I don't want to play anymore. You're too good. And it's like, ugh, all right, so I'll play. Just
it depends who the opponent is.
Yeah.
Like if it's someone I don't give a shit about, like if it's just some rando, then like I'm just gonna destroy them and move on with my day. If it's someone that I'm friends with, then I'm gonna try and at least make it fun for both players, because I don't want to ruin their enjoyment.
Yeah, I mean that's how I look at it, because I could play these games on my own if I really wanted to try and do something. But if somebody's playing along with me, it's like, hey, you gotta, I guess it's like a date. You gotta make sure that they're entertained and they're having a good time too. Hey, ooh, that was bad.
I like doing that for Satsu all the time. It was like that time I set up a bunch of Jerboas in his base and then set them on wander so that they would breed nonstop. And that way he would have a million baby Jerboas everywhere. I was like, entertainment.
You could see in when Johnny and I were playing Marvel 2, it's like I was just like using all these nonsense characters and trying to like not win by like. I could have just gone, okay, I'm gonna pick Cable, Iceman, and Captain Commando, and you're not gonna get a hit in.
Ugh.
But that's not fun for him or the audience really. So I was like, okay, I'll be like Bison and Ryu and like roll.
That was actually a tweet that we were talking about like a week ago, where somebody had posted people who do like infinite combos shouldn't be blah 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 playing, and it's like, dude, but the whole point is you're supposed to be able to learn if they can pull off an ultimate or unlimited combo, infinite combo, your goal then should be to figure out how, like, learn what they do in preparation for it, so you can see when it's coming and figure out how to deter it. Like that's fucking Coco was getting me the other day with air throws, and he's just laughing. He's like, you know how to throw, why don't you just throw when you're in the arms? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't think about it, and I get caught up, and every time I jump at him, he's just throwing me. I'm sitting there like, ugh. But it's you have to learn how to get out of that. You have to learn, again, if that's your prerogative. If not, if you just want to play casually, play casually.
I was so annoyed in Street Fighter V they got rid of Dan's infinite combo. Like, it's so cool that he had an infinite combo, and then they patched it out.
Well, I was gonna pick up that game, but when I saw that they're not gonna have Fei Long in it, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit, again?
From what I hear, the Bruce Lee estate is like saying no more representations of Bruce Lee.
If only Stanley fucking did that. Stanley's estate did that.
Okay.
I cannot imagine the horrific things Disney's gonna do to him.
Yeah. But that's why Fei Long is not in 5 and probably won't be in 6.
Yeah. And hopefully they don't go back and get rid of him in earlier versions. They do it.
I don't think they can. I don't think there's any way that they can retroactively take him out of Super Street Fighter 2. It's like he's in the game.
Wasn't he a downloadable character in other ones though?
I think so.
Or no, I don't know. Was he in 4? He wasn't in 3.
He was in 4, but I think I don't know if he was DLC or if he was base roster.
Because I can see them just like, oh yeah, no more on the DLC. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth their time or money to retroactively remove him from games that no one's playing anymore. Like,
We're living in...
obviously there's some people playing Street Fighter 4, but very little.
Well, we are living in crazy times, you know. We're seeing companies willing to drive their profits to the ground and for some ideologies.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
shit,
if they want to piss off all their customers for no reason, I suppose they could. But
I mean, especially right now when everybody's kind of wanting to save money anyway, it seems like a really good plan. Hey, you know what? I don't need to see the movie that cost me $50 to $60. I could totally put that towards my groceries or my gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for gas, that's not going to get you much.
I know. But I mean, if it gets you to the grocery store.
And then, but not back. You now live at the grocery store.
It'll work. We'll just plant stuff on the roof. You know, it'll be like a zombie apocalypse, but without zombies.
And then you get to the grocery store and it's all empty.
We'll just pretend to shoot each other for no reason. Be like, I thought you were a zombie. I'm not a zombie. Oh, I thought you were homeless. I'm not homeless.
I thought you had the monkeypox.
You got $5? I got $5.
Yeah, but gas is $5.16 and shit. You're not even gonna get a gallon.
Yeah,
sad.
it's worse in California. I was sort of laughing a little bit. I'm a little bit malicious that way because I come from a province with oil that I just can't seem to sell for some reason. I don't know. There was this Keystone Pipeline. Honestly, it doesn't go to California though. But I'm still like, you know, that thing where they're spending like $7.19 for regular gas, and it was $7.49 for premium.
That's just ridiculous. As you get closer to the city, it gets worse and worse. So, it's pretty bad. It's gonna be so expensive. I'm not gonna be able to play Outrun anymore. Oh, that's bad. But hey, we're gonna go ahead and close it off. Unless there was anything else you folks wanted to chat about, Donkey.
No, I'm good.
Good, nothing up here going on. We're born again. Hopefully.
Well, yeah. Well, hope we entertained you all, you lot, you zoo watchers, you weird people watching the zoos. We hope we entertained you. I hope we gave you a couple of chuckles, maybe a nightmare with the airplane game.
There was one thing I'm going to insert real quick before I forget, because I'm kind of an asshole as a Canadian, but you know, just send some cheers to our Ontario friends, because they got tornadoed the hell out of themselves.
Oh, shit.
It went through everywhere. Yeah, and it went all the way up to Quebec. They're not really used to those. They're not really built infrastructurally for it either.
Oh,
so,
geez.
I mean, it was kind of a hit and miss for people.
Was it? Was there a lot of damage?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know how many deaths there were, because like our guys up here just nuts. So I don't trust our media. I'm gonna wait until, you know, at least another day to find out what that did. But yeah, it led to some damage with people. So
well,
yeah,
I'm gonna be praying for them. Hopefully things turn out good for them.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, just because, like, you know, BG was like, weren't you worried about me? I was like, I was, but listen, I couldn't get a hold of you, so there was nothing I could do.
Damn. Well, before we close, I just want to say, usually Mondays, Inquisitor is hosting. I don't think he's going to be hosting next week. I think somebody else is going to host. Otherwise, I might sub again. Not that I have a problem with it. You know, it's fun. It's fun hanging out and chit-chatting. But other than that, make sure you check out Tuesday with Skep Tock. Wednesday with, oh, shit. Jen and Terry.
Us again. With Hammer.
Gonna be a busy week. Yeah, and Hammer. Good old Hammer. It's gonna be a busy week for y'all. Then Thursday is Johnny Hellcat. Friday is Party Time with Sanguine. Saturday is the Harry channel. And then you can hang out with me on Sunday and watch me get my butt kicked even more. I'm an exhibitionist sub, so ooh, I get my jollies worked. But yeah, hey, I want to thank you all for coming and visiting the zoo. I love y'all, and God bless. Have a good night. The zoo is closed.
Later, guys.
Hey guys.
Go over. I thought he didn't like bum touching.
Damn, go raid Monkey. Blame him for the pox. And
Ask him about monkey buttering the turtle cake.
yeah, yeah. See how well that turned out, sir. See, when you tell people to do things, okay, go raid Monkey. Tell him with love from the zoo.